rise for the honorable guard guides presiding. You may be seated. Today, we convene to settle, once and for all, a matter of great contention. Are security guards first responders? The prosecution argues no. The defense insists yes. Let's examine the evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start where every good argument should, with the standard, not opinion, not outdated job descriptions of Federal Directive. Homeland Security Presidential Directive 8, HSPD 8, defines first responders as those who protect life, property, evidence, and the environment in emergencies. That definition doesn't dance around it. It includes emergency response providers and related personnel. If that doesn't describe what security professionals do daily, then what does? This wasn't written for aesthetics. It was written to adapt because threats evolve. Anyone clinging to old-school definitions while ignoring the foundation our national policy is built on, they're not arguing with us. They're arguing with the very directive that guides federal emergency response. In healthcare, a certified first responder is anyone trained to stabilize a patient before advanced help arrives. Guess what? Security guards trained in CPR, EpiPen use, tourniquet application, and overdose response fit this description perfectly. The only reason they're dismissed is bias, not because of lack of skill or action. The phrase first responder didn't even exist before the 1970s when it referred to police and firefighters giving emergency aid. Over time, the term expanded because emergencies changed. Guards now routinely confront threats before law enforcement arrives, yet society clings to a narrow, government-only view. That's not factual, that's outdated prejudice. Ladies and gentlemen, the meaning is in the word. First responder. You can debate the title, but you can't deny the role. Hospital security guards don't just walk hallways. They're the first to respond when violent patients attack, when overdoses happen in lobbies, or when staff activate Code Gray. They physically intervene, de-escalate, restrain, sometimes risking their own lives. And yes, their contracts often require them to act, making their obligation real, sometimes stricter than volunteer EMTs. Imagine a nuclear plant breached by a hostile actor. It's not the local PD who runs in first. It's the on-site nuclear security guards trained in live fire drills and counter-terrorism tactics, operating under shoot-to-kill protocols to protect entire cities. Likewise, Federal Protective Service guards at federal buildings have already faced down armed attackers and neutralized them long before backup arrived. If that's not first response, what is? In cities where police forces are stretched thin, private security fills the gap. They patrol, respond to disputes, administer first aid, and even detain suspects. Some university campus security teams hold arrest authority, run trauma drills, and provide emergency care, yet they're denied the title. Why? Simply because they wear the wrong uniform. I'll show the jury the photographs. Who's there first? Who's saving lives? Who's acting before the sirens even wail? South Carolina grants guards full law enforcement authority on post, the same arrest and use of force powers as sheriff's deputies. In California, memorandums of understanding allow some guards to respond directly to 911 calls, labeling them the initial point of contact during emergencies. That's not a vague courtesy title. That's operational reality. These aren't rent-a-cops, they're law-backed. First responders, the only thing they're missing is the recognition. The Homeland Security Act explicitly includes private security contractors protecting federal sites under emergency response providers. OSHA emphasizes the importance of workplace violence prevention and recommends that employers assess risks and provide appropriate training and first aid supplies. The law recognizes their role, so why doesn't society? Even when no legal oath exists, contracts bind guards to act. Hospital security agreements require guards to intervene in life or death situations. Nuclear facilities demand active threat engagement. If they refuse, they're fired. This is no casual observer role. It's frontline response under threat of losing livelihood. Does it matter if the duty comes from a badge or a contract, if the outcome is the same? EMTs in Texas undergo around 260 hours of training focused on medical care. Armed guards complete 51+ hours covering firearms, legal use of force, emergency procedures, and first aid, and many go beyond that with optional crisis response, de-escalation, and trauma courses. Top-tier professionals even pursue ACIS certifications like the CPP, which require years of experience and months of prep. The issue isn't lack of training, it's that people ignore the training guards do have. Police guard capital all the time, protecting Tesla factories, pipelines, corporate interests. Guards in clinics, hospitals, and public housing handle life-threatening emergencies regularly. They protect people and property. Neither are volunteer firefighters or CERT teams, yet we celebrate them. Guards working in transit systems, malls, or college campuses face the same public dangers with the same moral stakes. Denying guards the title of first responder drives talented professionals away, undercuts morale, and leaves critical posts understaffed. It robs communities of capable, willing responders. Society claps for lifeguards, citizen heroes, and bystander CPR, but a uniformed security guard saving a life, suddenly they're dismissed. This is not about function, it's about perception, and perception kills. If a security guard stops an active shooter, revives a dying patient, or rescues civilians from a burning building, they are a first responder. Denying that truth doesn't change the facts. It only preserves an unfair, harmful caste system. The defense rests. Silence in the court. The judge will now render the verdict. Ladies and gentlemen, the evidence leaves no room for doubt, legally, practically, morally. Security guards meet the definition of first responders. To deny them isn't just ignorance, it's arrogance. Those who cling to outdated hierarchies, who scoff at the title, who belittle the work done on the front lines. They aren't protecting tradition, they are betraying public safety. And now, as for the naysayers, the doubters, the stubborn holdouts in the back of the courtroom, I hereby sentence you to review the products on Etsy, explore the Beacons page, subscribe to this channel, and join the honorable discussions over at r/guardguides.